things. So this is a video that was actually requested kind of a while ago, and I just always neglected to do it, which was talking about my tattoo apprenticeship, and not just like in stages, but also how I got one. While working at the tattoo shop, I have had multiple people that have come in asking if we'll take apprenticeships. My shop opted to not do it because they'd had nothing but apprenticeships going on for like 5 years, and it was getting to be very exhaustive, so they stopped doing it for a little while, and I was the last one. But some shops do not apprentice at all. Some shops are willing to do apprenticeships under a master, so that you're basically learning to tattoo just like that one person. And other shops will do it where it's a communal effort, and you'll kind of be taught a little bit from everybody that works there, which is how I was taught. But also, to get an apprenticeship, you need a portfolio. You need to actually be able to prove that you know how to draw. Not just how to trace, but how to draw. And you understand how color works, you understand how value and shading and all that stuff works. When I did my tattoo apprenticeship, I actually brought in a portfolio that costs more than it has any right to cost, which I got paint on, that I had to use for my college portfolio review. So I already had a professionally made up college portfolio. So like I already had all this stuff that was already printed and everything, and so it was already all prepped, and it just looked very professional. And I'm not saying that should you choose to try something like a tattoo apprenticeship that you have to go all out and do this super professional portfolio, but still have everything in one place, have it on good paper, not on like lined paper, and actually having completed drawings instead of like kind of half-assed sketches does really make an impact. With the shop that I ended up apprenticing at and I ended up working at and I've been at for close to 2 years now, I already kind of knew them. I had been tattooed there for like 3 years by one of their artists prior to working there. So they kind of knew who I was, because I guess the blue hair is very startling, and knew that I was an artist because I had talked about it in the times I had been tattooed there, and so they kind of already knew. And I know that opportunity doesn't necessarily always happen. And so I started in October of 2015. I graduated from apprentice to artist in May of 2017. Yes, it really did take that long, and from October until February, I was just cleaning, observing, sketching, and all that. I did not touch the skin. I did not tattoo anybody in that first like 5-month period because I wasn't ready to. And in the first few months, I unfortunately had one of the artists at our shop, who's actually no longer there, decided to control my apprenticeship, and it kind of screwed up my learning curve, so I was behind schedule on graduating, which is unfortunate, but shit happens. But I pretty much started with doing small pieces that were in black. Black ink as a pigment is thinner than most. It's easier to get into the skin. However, if you do large swaths of it, it's more likely to look patchy because it's not very forgiving. But I learned the difference between rotary and coil machines. I learned what the speeds do, how to approach different areas, which areas are easiest to tattoo. I've gotten relatively good at figuring out which areas are going to hurt the most to get tattooed. And like any tattoo artist, I'm probably going to dissuade customers from doing tattoos on their neck or hands if they don't already have a lot of tattoos and can get away with it, and all this stuff. And so the customer service aspect has really been a big thing. I spent a lot of time being a very cranky person because I don't like idiots, which is very rude of me. But there are a lot of things that are just very much, that people are really just not informed on when it comes to tattoos, which is unfortunate, and I get very frustrated. I have a bad temper problem. But pretty much, if you do consider a tattoo apprenticeship, one of two things are going to happen if you actually do the apprenticeship. Either you won't pay anything, but you won't get paid, or you will pay some kind of a fee. Some shops will charge you somewhere between $1,000 and $7,000 in order to do an apprenticeship. It's kind of rough that way. Financially, the first year was really difficult for me, and it's steadily gotten better as I've actually graduated to artist. I'm starting to have repeat clients. Building a client base is really hard, but once you start going, it gets a little bit easier. Unfortunately, as I say this is midsummer. No one really wants to get tattooed, so I don't really have a lot of walk-ins. People cancel on me a lot. It's very unfortunate, and money's tight, but you just have to be careful and ride out the waves. So pretty much, for those who are curious about the tattoo apprenticeship, you can't ask me some questions, but not every shop will do it the same. Every shop is different because every tattoo shop is an independent entity. I know, for example, with my shop and with every shop within the same county, it is illegal to tattoo someone under the age of 18, even with parental consent, but that doesn't apply to every county in my state. My state does not require each individual artist to get a tattoo license. You require a specific kind of business license for the whole shop, and if you are under that shop and employed there, that business license applies to you. But that is not the same for every state. So there's all these different things that are different within the United States. I do not know how tattoos and tattoo apprenticeships and pricing and everything works outside of the US. So anyway, I love tattooing, even if it's a very difficult job and way harder than I thought it was going to be. I still really do like it. It would probably be easier for me if I wasn't so scatterbrained as to be committed to 90,000 things at once all the time. But it is a very interesting and unique profession, and I'm glad to be in it. Should you choose to also become a tattoo artist, make sure that you're ready for the challenge. Till next time, Darklings.